This is the, what do you call it? The big reveal. The first episode of WoW Forum Adventures with googly-eyed Feck. Now, we'll start with people a bit mad about the end of Raid cinematic. Yeah. Let's see what this guy said. Is that it? Are you kidding me? What the hell was that? That has to be the worst raid ending cinematic I have ever seen. I have almost no words. I don't even know how to describe accurately how terrible and short it was, but I will give it a go. Defeats bad guy. Bad guy spouts short exposition before death. Bad guy dies. Nobody says anything of value or adds anything to the situation. Cinematic ends. Negative feelings ensue. Seriously, Bane's barbecue in 10:05. I don't even know what that is. The hell's Bane's barbecue? I'm assuming it's a side story that has to do with Bane because Bane has been neglected for like a decade. Was Emmy Award winning material compared to this nonsense. How could this pass through teams of people and they'll go, yeah, bro, good job on that end of Raid Cinematic, without anyone stopping this travesty from going to the live game? Now, I've seen the cinematic. I've also seen the 8-minute video regarding the whole story of whatever his name was, Disney Yellow Dragon dude, whatever. And bro, the worst part about 10.1, in my opinion, story-wise, is that the whole point of it is a distraction. They literally came out and said that it's a distraction in the cinematic where Firak goes into the ice, whatever, and then the ice dragon and the earth proto-drake, they just walk somewhere else. And they basically say, kind of say it's a distraction. So 10.1, the whole patch is a distraction for the player base. How nonsensical is that? It is a distraction. So it has nothing, pretty much will have nothing to do with the main story and all that stuff. Now, obviously, yeah, we're getting the third spec for the Drakthir and blah, 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 blah. This is in 10.15. But like right now, it's literally a distraction. It's like a low effort. You know what the distraction is? Halls of Valor, the raid, I forgot the name of the raid. Trial of Valor. That was a distraction. A 3-raid boss. The BFA raid with 2 bosses. That was a distraction. This is a whole raid tier that is supposed to be meaningful, and they're telling you, nah, bro, this is just nonsense. What the fuck is that? Let's see what the people are saying. Rathian plus Abelian. Huh? I don't get why Firak isn't the last boss. Honestly, I bet Firak and the Ice Proto-Drake are gonna be like a lieutenant fight before Earth Dragon boss. That's just what I'm thinking. Not surprised considering, wait, this is Steve the Nooser's baby, so can't criticize it or I'll get flag bombed. Yeah, this is Steve the Nooser's baby. It's been a fantastic expansion so far in terms of lore, right? Just one paragraph of Wrath lore is more exciting than all of Dragonflight. Memorable characters, better adjectives, more violence, exciting setting, and everything fits. No plot holes. There are plot holes, by the way, but they're not big enough. It's like you can easily ignore them. Upon entering the Upper Kingdom, an earthquake separated Anubarak from Arthas, and Anubarak and his minions fervently dug through the rubble to get to Arthas before he was slain by one of the many booby traps laden throughout the halls of Ajol Narub's Upper Kingdom. Anubarak was impressed by Arthas' resilience when... Okay. It's not exactly a big lore raid. This is the problem. This is a main patch. It has to be a big lore raid. That's the whole point of the major patches. You want a not big lore raid. That's what the 2-3 boss raids are for. The side raids, that's what they're for. This is like the major patch. You are now, so it's like, it's not appealing to people who care about lore. And the raid is meh overall. It's like it's nothing new. And by the way, they made it so that bosses have like 10 mechanics again. So you have to have weak auras again, all that shit. So again, everything that was like, people thought, oh, Blizzard is going back and like to more simple times with the raids and stuff. Yeah, that's not happening anymore. We're going back to overcomplicating shit to make it like make you need add-ons. Great. Hey, that's how the jailer ended. Yeah, negative feelings ensue. Jailor Berg twitches. Called it. What do you mean called it? Oh well. Why the hell not though? That had a lot of potential. Yeah. Oh, this is a reply to what's it called? Yeah, this is a reply to that guy that said that's like not a major lore raid. Didn't they admit to an overarching idea but open to change as time goes? In other words, we know. Yes. Yes. Basically, what this means is that they admit that they make changes on the fly. Not gonna lie, Afro Salami made me chuckle, but yeah, dude needs to go write for Scholastic or something. Nothing saving him writing except the few loud folks who like dragons and collecting cosmetics that think... Well, collecting cosmetics has nothing to do with the newser. That think it's rude to criticize someone from Blizzard. Metzen and the old guard wrote miles better than Steve. 100%. Yeah. Though I believe a lot of Dragonflight is... like what's called Metzen is helping to an extent, right? He's they're consulting him and shit. The added comical very long breath. I'm assuming he's not min-maxing on like the texts and stuff, so that's probably what Metzen is not doing. The added comical very long breaths and sighs to his death though. 10 out of 10. The final boss is just a borrowed power lizard who would get stomped by any of the bosses before him if he wasn't void juiced. Basically, yeah, so like, you know, the same old. How much potential could there be? I hope we're done with the Drakthir and can move on to villains with more oomph. Honestly, look, this whole raid, this is the funniest thing. You know, remember in Legion when there was like that one demon hunter or like a few demon hunters that were like, no, we don't want to follow Illidan's path anymore. He fucked us over, and they went their own way. And then you meet one of them in what's it called, the vaults, I think. Was it vaults? I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the dungeon. Basically, where you fight Shadow Song at the end, the warden-looking night elf, where you fight her at the end, and there's like the first boss is this demon hunter, right? This is exactly it, but in a raid form. They're just like, well, we're gonna have some Drakthir that follow along, and we're gonna have some Drakthir that just gonna be evil. Call it a day, guys. Call it a day. We're fucking original. Final boss is just a bar power. I think we got a Night Elven Pirate Captain next. So, whether ye be Irontide or Bloodsail, Defias or Freebooter, all are welcome to sail under the Night Squall's flag. Follow him as your new admiral, and no Navy on Azeroth will have a prayer. Oh my god. I hope it's just a dungeon, because this is not raid-worthy. It all starts with the Dragon Isles, plundered secrets in the name of Dread Admiral Night Squall, and from there, the world is ours for the taking. Yeah, I pretty much mauled the guy every time we encountered him, only for him to run away. Not really screaming raid boss status. Really? Oh, yeah, because you probably meet him during the story, and you beat him 1v1, then eventually just... whatever. It's bad guy, okay. Slash looks at Arthas' scene and back at you. I mean, isn't that every raid ending or most? Okay, I looked at the raid ending cinematic here, and it's fine, actually. Oh my god, nothing too offensive or amazing here, though. I'm glad they're leaning on these animated in-game cutscenes this time around. I love one of those. Yeah, remember the N'Zoth end raid cinematic? Yeah, that was also in-game. Stop drugs, please. Well, that was uncalled for. No, it wasn't. Yeah. Trash take. I found amusing that Blizzard did do cutscenes with raids, considering how few, compared to the player base as a whole, would see it and then just escape or tab out on repeated runs. Y'all expecting a 5-minute realistic rendering for a side character. I think the problem is, if people experienced Guild Wars 2 or Final Fantasy 14, then your expectations are substantially higher when it comes to like Blizzard shit at this point. If you have done Final Fantasy 14 raiding or Guild Wars 2, just main story, and then you have like it's not even like meta event, but it is the end of the story, and you do kill the big bad, right? Obviously, there's a meta event that is also like a massive world raid and stuff. But the problem is the raids are part of the main story. So you are technically, when you do the raid, you finish the main story, or maybe there's one more chapter. But you're not getting anything for it, right? Like, you're not getting the story from it. That's what I think people are disappointed about. Honestly, the less of those, the better. Personally, those scenes are just jarring if they're not the intro to this game. Unless they make a TV show or movie with those graphics, of course. I know, hot take, but when it comes to cutscenes from Blizzard, I'm rarely impressed by them these days. Which is sad, but yes. You realize the story isn't over, right? And Berthal didn't even go in because she didn't want to get wrapped up in all this vengeance and corruption. Sabellian and Rathian are still there trying to figure out who is actually going to step up and lead the flight. Sarkarath, I mean, again, yes, the story is not over. And let's be real, even when they figure out, well, the story is not over, more and more will happen, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, though, a raid is over. You expect something to get like a massive lore tidbit. And honestly, I have a problem with all the lore in WoW, because here's the thing. The main lore, the main story should be told through the things that everyone would do, right? The campaigns, like, that are pretty much mandatory, they should be, the main story should be told from there. If it's mandatory to go through a dungeon, which is not the case in WoW, but if it is, you would get a story there as well, right? Like some text from the bad guys, whatever, right? If you do the raid, the NPCs are conversing amongst themselves, the bosses have some story, yada, 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 right? The problem is, this is not the case in WoW. All of the story in WoW, you have, like, even though it's in the game now, it's really not obvious. You have to find little tidbits here and there. Like, you have a weapon with a reference to this thing from 20 years ago. It's like, bro, like, who knows this? Like, this game is made for people to watch a YouTube channel explaining the lore to them. Right? Anyways, in my opinion, the raid cinematic obviously was trash. Clearly, a lot of people think it was pretty bad, very anticlimactic, and the ones who are defending it don't really have that much of a good argument. They're just like, their standards are like rock bottom, which is not, in my opinion, what Blizzard's standard should be. Blizzard, in my opinion, look at the Diablo 1 cinematic, Diablo 2 cinematic for its time, way ahead of the competition. Where are they now? They're still stuck in like the year 2005. Okay, graphic wise, yeah, but like in terms of like telling the story of the cinematic, they're just like years behind everyone else. There's like nothing being told. You're just like, oh, let's hint at this, or like, let's put another mysterious villain in the air. Like, bro, enough. Just tell a fucking story. Give me a 3 to 5 minute cinematic of just like something. Get me engaged in the lore. Clearly, that's not and again, this is why the meme exists. Playing WoW for the lore. What an idiot. Yeah, that's exactly it. And you know what? At this point, honestly, they might as well not have lore. Just release content without a story and fuck it. I mean, honestly, the people who are still playing probably don't give a shit about the lore. They might as well just abolish the lore and just make a game that is fun to play with no NPCs that talk. Just like, kill 10 wolves. That's it. You don't need anything else. You don't need a story, like, kill 10 wolves. Fuck it. But make it fun. I don't know. Run a bulldozer over wolves or some shit like that. Make it fun. At this point, I have no expectations of WoW to actually deliver a good story. And in my opinion, the Noozer has yet to prove his worth to the company. Don't forget, like, people are saying it's like, oh, Dragonfly is gonna be the Noozer's bread and butter. The Jailer was all the Noozer, by the way. The ending of the Jailer, that was all the Noozer, by the way. So don't tell me, do not tell me, this is gonna be a good lore expansion. Let alone it's about something that is like almost completely irrelevant to the massiveness of what WoW has become, to the galactic threat that WoW has in its in its sphere, whatever. Anyways, that's episode 1 of Forum Adventures, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.